Felix brought Facebook, YouTube. We're going to do this live feed, and this is Bistros. And Bistros right on Broadway, looks like Washington Michael Market Bistros. That's online. We got some affidavits that's been on the Google, of course, on the United States versus Bistro on white collar crimes. White collar crimes on U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit. Docket number is 181254, March 28, 2019. David J. Barron. Judge David J. Barron has been in white collar crimes, white crime convictions, white crime appellate court processing for years and years. David J. Barron has been administration office for a long time. He's been in the administration office of the First Circuit in vacancy for contemporarily. This is Wednesday, April 17, 2019, and it's 11:20 and 4 seconds. We're going over on extortion, on the Hobbs Act, on Extortion Act. This is obtaining a property on an element satisfying the case, but this is a white collar crime. Remember, any in the midst of Hobbs Act extortion is in preliminary reasons how many corporates and how many defrauds of companies, how many escrow buildings and banks you fortified and falsified documentation, falsified signatures, and misleading juries and misleading corporate criminal convicts and commit activity on the property that you don't own. This is a Hobbs Extortion Act. And the information where a person who extorts people for money, people that poses that posturing himself as an individual that has any of the extorting or misleading or taking amounts of money and depositing in inquiries or loitering or laundering money and loader property. Anybody that sits outside or inside the building and the domains or permits with any discriminatory disclosure on a Hobbs Act, Extortion Act, that's a white collar crime. Any white collar crime is extorting. That means you're in Donald Trump's facility, you're in Donald Trump's residency, and you say you're working for Donald Trump, you're obtaining property and say your driver's license or your social security number or your first and last and your second military status uniform or your military uniform or your tie or your entire wardrobe or your underwear or anything in your property domain. It's called Hobbs Act, Extortion Act. Now, David J. Barron's been in criminal activity in white collar crime in the appellate court for years. Before that, he was at universities on the transmission on obtaining in the Aquatic Center trained Olympic Games, and that would be Mr. Phelps. He's a golden Phelps. He's a butterfly stroke and also penalty running in the cardiovascular program and the running, exercising, and all cardiovascular stomach exercises. All stomach exercises excluding, that means doing sit-ups with 500 to 900 pounds. That means curling, literally doing sit-ups upside down with 90, 45, 90, 180, 280, 580 pounds, literally, stomach exercises. These help the aquatic centers and the profession in the Olympic Games in the United States of America. Now, this is a Hobbs Act Extortion Act. That means posing as wearing gold uniform, first class uniform, and also the class 1 wardrobes that they have in plenary, and all the churches you show up, and you have also the obtaining of property, intellectual property. It all finds on the limit of Hobbs Act extortion. And indicate Hobbs extortion, conspiracy commits and extortion. Knowing for the fact because of the Class A uniform, also the basketball, the football, the baseball, the softball, the baseball bat, that's Bo Jackson also, and Joe Diddley. The fastest man on the planet was Rocket Ajmer, and I ended his history by taking him down, tackling him. When he touched the ball, I have all rights to smash him into the ground to a small pebble squash. That's like, you challenging me as like a small ant. People weighing 500, 600, 400 pounds. And this is, of course, Rocket O'Mill, Notre Dame. the statue of Virgin Mary and also the statue of God is caught on fire for the second time. And City of Boston, Massachusetts on extortion, and also Hobbs Act extortion, holding the Mueller's Funeral Home, 14 West Avenue, Kennewick, Washington. That's the ordinance of the Hobbs Act extortion. That's the official City of Boston, Massachusetts. That's the uniform, Class A uniform, and also Class A tie administration office that they have pertaining obtaining the property. Defense alleged directly on production of cap. The First Circuit is a order of dismissal holding on obtaining property. And his history's, Rocker's Mill's history's done, but he's running around and he's a bodyguard. He's he can go 0 on 100-yard dash is 3.2 seconds. 50-yard dash is now 3.7 seconds. And I ended his history. And that's Bo Jackson, also the deal with daily administration. This is a Hobbs Act extortion act, white collar crimes. And that's Todd. And that is Amanda at the jewelry store that has all the gold and silver and platinum, also jewelry. And there's a Miller's Jewelry, someone's responded to a message on 40 hours ago in the administration office for a size inquiries for the diamonds, the platinum, the gold, and that's Todd, Levette, and Amanda. Amanda's this is her society and administration office here in downtown Moses Lake. City Hall 401 South and 411 South Boston. And they have in corporate the white collar crimes. I said again, they should brush up on the administration. This is a little footnote they got here. Let me just take that out. And here comes Clifton County Office here in Moses Lake. He has a response. There's a local Washington versus this is Washington Supreme Court, December 28, 2018. It's a federal lawsuit testing of Arizona State of filing U.S. Senate vacancy created by John McCain's death, Part 1 and series. As reflect was commenting on Senator McCain, and that was Yates that was killing prostitutes on Van Buren. We got a mansion, penthouse in Phoenix, Flagstaff, administration office, so we can come to the Senate office, come always on call and duty. Anybody called on duty for bankruptcy court, and anyone called on duty for trial and error divorce settlements, and then also, the statutory litigations for rape cases, molestation, child molesters, etc. There's a federal court in Arizona has a challenge, and they had a challenge for that DECMBER. There is a Overturf Motors Ford Company in Columbia Center Boulevard, Columbia Center, Columbia Center over in Columbia Center Boulevard, connected to the Cloverleaf, Kennewick Wash Blue Bridge, Cable Bridge, and also the Green Bridge, which was broken down to pieces, rubble, and that's the Vietnam vet eras, and also the Hells Angels discrepancy that comes in for $80,000 But the $80,000 ain't theirs, the cremator ain't theirs, and the funeral home ain't theirs either. Either there's the brick or the masonry, hog carry, and the center, and also the iron workers, and also the stationary local don't belong to them. But this is a federal lawsuit to this constitute Missouri State filing the Senate vacancy created by John McCain's death, part of one series. And that's Roberta McCain and also Lola Roberta Vasquez and Lola Vasquez. This is South Dakota. So this first of series of columns as Law Dean Professor Mr. is stepping in trying to incorporate and say he pinpoint and negotiated and he's a debater. Watch Supreme Court opinions in the King County dispute. Watch Supreme found RCW 29A.36.09 required ballot title objection raised when 10 days public filing ballot title. Epic claims brought in near 4 years after the ballot title was filed, therefore demanding Mr. Washington versus CHACON, docket 951942, December 27, 2018. Constitutional law, criminal law. Petitioner was John Cochran, who sought further appeals. Convicted of second-degree assault, criminal trespass trial, judge and jury, New Jersey, without using 11 Washington pattern jury instruction, criminal 4.01 and 93, 4th edition, 2016. The omitted sentence and instructions stated that defendant burden of proving a reasonable doubt exists. Filed that instruction trial argued the omission of manifest complex error and reviewed the time appeal. RAP 2.5A3 after review Washington Supreme Court find instruction not manifest constitutional error. And this is Washington Supreme Court. End prison and death police versus King County. This is the December 27, 2018, and this is Gordon McLeod, Judge Cheryl McLeod. This is a ballot title, King County Property Taxes and Lack information required by Form RCW 84.55.050, 2012. The Washington Supreme Court found RCW 29A36.09 required the ballot form objection raised. And that's Avaca and Donald Trump and also Melina outside the International Airport in Moses Lake. And mother and father and grandfather and children want to know exactly what I told them exactly what happened. And that's, of course, Yates, and that's Senator McCain, and also Roberta McCain, and that's Lola Vasquez, and also Lola Roberta Vasquez, and that's the real names of the mother and father, grandfather of the real mother of the father of the father of the mother father. And this is the Washington Court of Appeals, Evan and Macy's. And that's, of course, the Trump Towers, and the Trump Towers inside the, across the street from the Twin Towers that were leveled. And the contracts here, the first name, last name, the procedure and process the code on the ballot and processing information for the signature and constitutions is self-explanatory. Now, Washington Court using this here, and then, this is docket 9514-1942.